Okay, this is section 2.3, question number 16. We're just going to do one question here because I really like this story problem in that there's two ways you can solve it. You can just solve each person individually. So a lot of people could put Anna, Boris, and Charlie and just kind of figure out how much each of them gave and then add them together. That works. But if we read the question, it says Boris has 2.5 times as much cash as Anna. Charlie has 3/4 as much cash as Anna, and Anna has 25.60 in cash. How much do all three people? How much cash do all three people have altogether? So if you did it individually, you calculate how much Anna has, you calculate how much Boris had, and you calculate how much Charlie has, and then you added them together. That's totally fine. But what I'd really like you to try and do is realize that for A, we can make it into a pretty decent bed mass question. And before I do A, I'm just going to do Anna plus Boris plus Charlie. Sorry, I pressed pause there. I forgot what I was saying. So Anna plus Boris plus Charlie. So if I start off by organizing my information like that, I'm not doing any math yet. I'm just saying that's the sum of all three. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute all of them for how much they have. So Anna is pretty simple because it's just $25.60. And I don't need, because if we're doing a problem, actually don't need, I don't need my dollar sign. I'll just put $25.60 plus. What is an expression, and I'll put it in brackets here, that we can make to represent how much money Boris has? What can we use that for this? Yeah, right. Or 2.5 times as much as or of Anna's, which is 25.60. Does everyone agree with that expression? Now we do have a conundrum right now, and the conundrum is we have fractions and decimals in the same bed mass question. So what you probably want to do is change either all of it to decimals or all of it to fractions. What do you think the easiest way to do this would be? Probably decimals. So I'm going to take my eraser and I'm going to change 2.5 to what? 2.5. Okay? And that represents the amount of money Boris has. Or plus, how much money does Charlie have? 3/4 as much so 3/4 as much as Anna, so 3/4 of Anna's. Looks like that. But again, just like the last one, we're not going to use decimals. We're going to change 3/4 to 0.75. Okay? So if you were given this question and you had the common sense to be able to write that bed mass expression, that really shows that you're kind of deepening your understanding of what bed mass questions are and why we would use them, right? So now that we've had this question written down, I know that all three of those numbers work, and all I'm going to do is simplify it using bed mass. So $25.60 plus Boris has 2.5, that amount, so I'm going to do 2.5 times 25.6. He has $64. And Charlie has 3/4 or 75%, 3/4 of Anna's money. She has $19.20. And now that we have that, we did our multiplication first. Now we're just going to add them all together. So grab my calculator one more time and go $25.60 plus $64 plus $19.20 equals $108.80. All right, and since it's a story problem, you should then write a therefore sentence. So that these little dots like this, that little triangle means therefore. Therefore, all three have $108.80. That just makes sure that you remember what you actually were working towards. B says, how much more cash does Boris have than Charlie? How much more cash does Boris have than Charlie? So if I'm finding out how much more cash Boris has than Charlie, what operation will I use for this? I'll use subtraction because I'm looking for the difference. Okay, the difference between Boris's money and Charlie's money. So if I take Boris's money, subtract Charlie's money, it will be $64 take away 19.2, or if I did that in my head and took away 20 cents or $20 instead, that would be 44, but that's 80 cents too much, so it's $43. You know what? My brain just farted there. I can't think. 64 take away 19.20. Yeah, 44.80. I knew I did that. $44.80.